Ain't playing with nobody. You step in that ring with him, be prepared.
Oh my God! All day. There you go. That's it. That's it.
There you go.
There's his experience, his toughness, his cardio. He has a lot of heart, and he knows that I'm coming to win. And they're saying that this is the hardest he's ever been training.
Back in terms of some of that discipline. But, you know, training camp happens, you know, if he's locked in and he's looking to make a show and try and knock this guy out, I wouldn't be surprised either. Does he have the gas? Yeah. Even though he's dealing with a bigger guy, you know, it's still, he's been 10, 12 rounds in real fights. Jake hasn't. Jake has shown that he's got tired out in fights.
Jake Paul's confidence is on full display as he gears up for his clash with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Known for his fearless attitude and bold statements, Jake isn't holding back this time either. His arrival near Tank's camp has stirred tension, as both fighters push themselves to the limit in preparation. With Tank sharpening his power, speed, and timing, the stage is now set for an explosive showdown that could redefine both of their careers.
And so right now, I just want to see what he brings to us. We just got off the plane. You know, a lot of work yesterday from the interviews and stuff, so I want to see how he react. 2 sparring partners, and rounds is unknown.
All right, y'all. Let's go.
Bam! When they watch us in here working, they saying we going bang, 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 bang.
There you go. Good. There you go.
When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understand that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. You got what you asked for. Let's get it now.
Jake Paul is training harder than ever before, showing a level of focus and discipline that even his critics are beginning to notice. He insists this camp is different, more serious, more strategic, promising to unveil new combinations, sharper defense, and improved footwork. Jake claims he's ready to shock the world. His team says he's entering this fight in peak condition, determined to silence doubters and prove he belongs on the same stage as a pound-for-pound star like Gervonta Davis.
Pick him apart, and people are going to be able to see the skill set that I've been working on in the gym that I haven't been able to showcase in recent fights yet.
For Gervonta Davis, this fight means far more than just another payday or spectacle. It's personal. Facing Jake Paul, a YouTuber-turned-boxer who has built fame through shocking upsets, Tank sees this as a matter of pride and legacy. The undefeated world champion has thrown himself into one of the most demanding training camps of his career, eliminating distractions and pushing his limits like never before. Boxing analyst Paulie Malignaggi noted that while Jake's fights aren't scripted, they are often strategically chosen to favor him. But this time, he faces a man who thrives under pressure, a fighter who's built for real combat, not controlled conditions. Tank knows that one mistake could become viral history, and that thought alone fuels his hunger to dominate and remind the world why he's one of boxing's deadliest finishers.
Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a
Gervonta
degree,
Davis.
you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist, if he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way
Paulie,
we did
also,
when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know, the way they
Felix
did even when Mike
Trinidad
Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era.
Now,
he knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No,
and
because
Teddy
he
Atlas
fought
100%,
everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at
Teddy
that time
Ellis,
fought.
Teddy
With the
Ellis, Teddy Ellis will 100% agree with this
with the
because
expense
he would say the
of
guys that
Witherspoon.
were afraid of
With
him.
the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract.
You can say the same thing about
who had contract issues with King at the time. Oh, except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when you gonna fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something.
Teofimo Lopez offered an intriguing perspective, suggesting this fight should be viewed more as entertainment than a true sporting contest. He argued that the weight difference and celebrity hype make it less about rankings and more about spectacle, a modern-day boxing show designed to draw massive attention. While some fans agree with Lopez, others insist that Gervonta's pride and competitive nature make it impossible for him to take it lightly. His comments highlight the new reality of boxing, a sport evolving into an entertainment empire where crossover stars like Jake Paul blur the lines between performance and pure fighting.
It's fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun. It makes it entertaining. That's what it's all about. You know, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Yeah. We need to see you and Tank, though. Has to happen.
What happened?
It has to happen, you and Tank.
We'll see, man. It's up to the champ. He's the champ, right? He's fighting. He's a celebrity champ.
A former sparring partner of Jake Paul recently issued a chilling warning, saying Jake has never faced anyone with the kind of destructive power Tank Davis possesses. He explained that while Jake's confidence comes from knocking out MMA fighters, none of them had Tank's explosive speed, precision, or killer instinct. He said, Tank's power isn't just about strength, it's about timing, accuracy, and the way he delivers shots you never see coming. Jake might enter the ring believing his size gives him an edge, but one clean punch from Davis could change everything in an instant. These words echo what many boxing insiders already believe. Jake is stepping into the deep end against a natural-born knockout artist who thrives when the lights are brightest.
I think, honestly, man, like every single time, you know, people said that Jake would get finished or he would lose a fight, he obviously proved everybody wrong. But I genuinely believe this time, I think that, you know, with Gervonta's boxing IQ and him having Jake come down a little bit in weight, I think Gervonta will beat him, honestly. I think Gervonta will hurt him. I think he'll just use IQ. He'll tire him out a little bit. And, you know, I think he'll land. You know, Gervonta knows how to touch his opponents. But it's interesting because when Floyd fought Logan, the size really made a big, you know, impact. And you saw Floyd struggle, you know, against a big, you know, Ohio corn-fed, you know, wrestling strong dude. And, you know, I've sparred Jake and Logan before, and, you know, they train hard.
You're picking Tank by knockout?
Look, I sparred them years ago. They're much better than when I sparred them. They're athletes, you know, they train really hard. I think they work harder than...
Former champion Tim Bradley weighed in, reminding fans that even elite fighters like Gervonta Davis carry heavy emotional and physical burdens. He pointed out that constant criticism, social media pressure, and public scrutiny take a toll on every fighter. Bradley said, "People forget that fighters are human. The endless noise, the expectations, it wears you down." Yet, despite all that, Tank remains laser-focused, channeling that pressure into motivation. Bradley believes that if Davis can control his emotions and maintain discipline, his natural talent will completely overwhelm Jake Paul's inexperience. His message was clear: Jake might enjoy popularity and freedom from expectations, but Tank is fighting for something far deeper: respect, pride, and the weight of boxing's legacy itself.
Tank, you know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA, you know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like, we all don't do that. We don't do our research. You know, you got to know about somebody's history. So, like, if you understand where Tank came from, if you understand his background, then you understand how he thinks and why he feels the way he feels. You know, you do. So, I mean, for instance, like his parents, right? His parents were drug addicts, in and out of the system, in and out of jail. You know, he lived with his grandmother. You know, like, you gotta understand when he started boxing, why he started boxing. Understand that, you know, that what the influence that Calvin has had on his life, and how if their relationship isn't great, how that affects him. And this is not making any excuses, people. This isn't. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just giving you what I think, and I'm giving you the facts surrounding all of this. You know, I remember back in 2012, you know, I'm living right. I'm living civil. I'm taking care of my business. I feel like I'm doing everything right. You know, I'm living right. I'm saying all the right things. You know,
The promotional buildup for this fight has been massive. Interviews, training footage, and viral social media teasers have flooded every corner of the internet. Yet, interestingly, reports suggest that ticket sales have been slower than expected. Despite all the hype, audiences seem reluctant to pay premium prices. Critics argue that many fans view the event more as a show than a true clash of boxing elites. Still, the marketing machine continues to push hard, relying on Jake Paul's media power and Gervonta Davis's championship reputation to keep headlines buzzing. This mixed response perfectly captures boxing's modern paradox. Huge online engagement doesn't always translate into packed arenas. Both camps, however, are betting heavily on pay-per-view and global streaming numbers to make this fight a financial blockbuster.
Promo is fire. And when this fight first got announced, I told y'all, the promo, when they start promoting it, it is going to be fire. The promo will be better than the fight, right? Because obviously, I don't like the fight. I'm not a fan of the fight. I cannot stand the decision for Tank to go in this direction, although I understand it, right? I understand it because I understand the business behind it. So I get all of that. But the promo is fire. If you go watch it, the way that is shot, the production of it looks very, very top of the line, top shelf, as you would expect from a company as big as Netflix, which is a $530 billion company. So they have the budget, they have the money to make sure their production is A1. Obviously, as a Tank Davis fan, paying attention to him in the promo, the young man looks in good spirits. He looks like he's in a good headspace, and he doesn't look like he's unhappy to be there, which bodes well for the prospects of him continuing his boxing career, I guess, not retiring. And I think that as he gets closer to the fight, as the fight happens, he'll be in his happy place. And I expect for Tank fans, for boxing fans, to get really good news after Tank Davis and Jake Paul share the ring and they do the post-fight press conference. I think that a lot of people will probably be happy with the outcome of what Tank Davis has to say after that fight. But the promo is fire. It's just a trailer. It's up on the Netflix YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. Really enjoyed watching that promo. Watched it a couple of times. And as I said, I'm paying attention to the press conferences. I'm paying attention to the build-up because I feel like
Analysts have frequently highlighted Jake Paul's strategic matchmaking, choosing opponents who bring both fame and calculated risk. Facing Gervonta Davis fits that pattern perfectly. It guarantees controversy, spectacle, and publicity, while letting Jake claim he's stepping up against a real champion. During their face-off, the physical contrast between them was striking. Jake's larger frame towered over Tank's compact, muscular build. Commentators described it as visually startling. The influencer looked massive, but Tank stood calm and collected, exuding quiet menace. For real boxing fans, that calm was the warning. They've seen this before. Tank's power and timing consistently defy physics. He's knocked out men with longer reach, heavier frames, and bigger reputations. That silence in his eyes told the story. He's been here before, and he knows exactly what to do.
You're not fighting guys your own fucking size. Look at this, John. This is embarrassing. And not to mention, Georgia already said, no, you can't have this fight here. So they moved it somewhere else. Dave, do you know where they moved the fight? Can you look it up? Yeah. This is embarrassing. Look, he actually put his hands on his knees and he was still the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Gervonta Davis. I mean, I'm all in on Gervonta. I want Gervonta to win this fight. I want him to hit. I mean, I'm not saying he can knock him out, but I think if he hits him to the body a couple times, John, he may be able to catch him. A lazy jab or something, you know, he might be able to pop him to the body and get him good. I'm hoping. Jake Paul down with a body shot.
Oh man.
Oh geez.
Could you imagine?
I would. It'd be great.
It's a win right there.
It'd be fucking great.
Miami.
Oh, they moved to Florida. Makes sense. You know, the only place that opened up during COVID makes sense. I mean, what's your thoughts on this fight? I know it's an exhibition. I believe it's 10 rounds.
Look at Gervonta Davis is a hell of a fighter, but he's, you know, and I think that the one thing that Jake Paul is really going to have to try to figure out in this fight is how do I catch this little son of a bitch, because he's fast, and you know, Gervonta, I would, you know, I'm not telling Gervonta Davis to, you know, cut down in weight like he normally does. Just get in shape. Whatever you weigh. Don't try to add weight. There's not enough time for you to add good weight that's not going to make you tighter or anything like that. So just come in at your normal, walk around, good weight. You've been training hard.
Boxer Bruce Carrington offered an insightful take, arguing that fights like Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis are actually revitalizing the sport. He explained that crossover matchups attract new audiences. Young fans, casual viewers, and social media audiences who might never watch a traditional title bout. Carrington admitted that boxing purists often dislike the entertainment angle, but insisted that this exposure is crucial for the sport's survival. He compared it to earlier eras when charisma and showmanship built global stars. Boxing has always been part sport, part spectacle, he said. Jake Paul didn't break that rule, he just modernized it. Carrington believes this kind of crossover energy is what keeps boxing relevant in an age dominated by short attention spans, viral clips, and influencer culture.
Entertainment, right? But this is what this is, sports entertainment. This is what's gonna put butts in the seat, believe it or not. This is what's gonna, you know, bring a lot of money to the sport. Especially, you know, we have like, you know, people trying to say boxing is dead, boxing is dying. But, you know, we have a whole demographic of people that don't even watch boxing, interested in boxing. So I like to look at it that way. Like we're making these fantasy dream matchups come to life with Floyd and Tyson, you know. And to be honest, I'm a little biased because Floyd, he is my favorite fighter of all time. And Tyson, he is a guy that basically like made me fall in love with boxing. And he's like the icon, the myth, the legend for me. So it was like them two fighting. It's like, yo, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like and then on top of that, it's an exhibition, bro. It's not something to be taken serious. It's something that is for the people to just enjoy and watch. It's an exhibition. It's not like they making it a sanctioned fight. Now, Jake and Tank, are they making that a sanctioned fight? I think they are.
They're trying to. It's a lot of moving parts right now with that.
Yeah, so I think that's, you know, that's where, you know, certain things become an issue, because now you're putting it into a serious, you know, space. You know what I'm saying? Which it shouldn't be. It's honestly, if it's sanctioned, how the heck they gonna, you know, I don't know, bro.
Former world champion Carl Froch voiced concern about the physical mismatch between the two fighters. He warned that the difference in size and power could pose real safety risks if not handled carefully. Drawing from experience, Froch explained that whenever fighters from different divisions meet, especially when one carries elite knockout power, the danger is magnified. His comments weren't aimed at either man's skill, but at the sport's duty to protect its athletes. Froch cautioned that boxing's growing trend of spectacle fights must never come at the expense of safety. His words serve as a reminder that while entertainment drives ticket sales, boxing's integrity depends on fairness and fighter welfare above all.
Jake Paul, that serious, he can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he does so much wrong. It's just, everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defense. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level. And then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different.
And that's it for today's video. What do you think? Can Jake Paul pull off the unthinkable against one of boxing's most dangerous champions? Or will Gervonta Davis remind the world why he's in a league of his own? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this electrifying showdown.